When it comes to hot weather like this, the first thing that pops into my mind is watermelon. But as prices rise, fruits and vegetables are getting more expensive too. These days, I even hesitate to buy a whole watermelon. Still, if I carefully try to pick a good one, examine it closely, decide to buy it, bring it home, and cut it open, only to find that the flesh is pale and tasteless, I get really frustrated and even feel kind of empty. So, how can I choose a good watermelon? Not long ago, I shared a video on how to pick a sweet watermelon, checking the skin, the stripes, tapping the fruit, and inspecting the belly button. After that video, I received lots of comments and extra tips from viewers. Some said the stem was the key, others suggested looking for bee pollination marks or checking the color on the bottom. So today, I'm following up with an upgraded version, gathering those new tips, clearing up some common misconceptions, and especially digging into the truth behind that seemingly harmless watermelon stem. Let's get started. Debunking the myth about watermelon stems. Have you ever gone to the supermarket, seen a watermelon with a fresh green stem and a bit of sap at the tip, and immediately thought, "Oh, this one must be freshly picked. It's probably super sweet." Actually, that's one of the most common misunderstandings. A fresh stem indicates that the watermelon was harvested recently. However, the sweetness doesn't come from being freshly picked, but rather from whether the fruit was allowed to fully ripen in the field before harvesting. Many watermelons with slightly dried stems can still be incredibly sweet and juicy if they were picked at the right time, after the sugars in the fruit had fully developed. In fact, some experts even share that if the stem is sunken and deeply embedded, it's a sign the watermelon ripened fully on the vine. A vine-ripened melon that was properly nourished by the plant before being harvested. Some honest farmers have even admitted that they sometimes try to keep the stem looking fresh and nice, just because they know many buyers judge by appearance alone. So, the stem is just a secondary clue. It can't tell the whole story about a melon's sweetness. Don't let the stem fool you. Tapping or slapping the watermelon to pick the perfect one. Many people are used to lightly tapping or slapping a watermelon to guess if it's ripe, a traditional habit. In a previous video, I also introduced this method. To choose a delicious watermelon, simply give the rind a gentle slap and listen closely. If the sound is deep, resonant, and solid, that usually means the watermelon is ripe, red inside, and full of sweet juice. On the other hand, if the sound is dull, flat, or muffled, the melon may be underripe or overripe. Either way, it won't taste as good. In fact, many viewers have shared that they regularly use this method and find it very effective. However, it's also true that many people struggle to distinguish the subtle differences in sound when tapping a melon. So, if you're not yet experienced in listening for these sound cues, don't worry. I'll share some much easier visual indicators next that will help you choose a great melon with confidence. Choosing a watermelon by its belly button. If I had to name the easiest yet most accurate tip for picking a good watermelon, I'd confidently say, look at the belly button. I shared this trick in a previous video, but I'm repeating it here so anyone who missed it can start using it right away. The belly button of a watermelon is the small circular spot on the bottom of the fruit, directly opposite the stem. It's the scar where the flower once bloomed when the melon was young. And fun fact, watermelons can be male or female too. Female watermelons typically have a small, tight belly button, less than 1 centimeter in diameter. These tend to have sweeter flesh, fewer seeds, thinner rinds, and a more enjoyable bite. On the other hand, male melons often have larger belly buttons and tend to have more seeds, thicker rinds, and less sweetness. According to experienced farmers, a small belly button is a sign of perfect pollination and even nourishment, which usually means the fruit will be much tastier and of higher quality. So next time you're at the market or grocery store, just flip the melon over and check the belly button. If it's small, neat and closed, go ahead and grab it. there's an 80% chance you're picking a delicious one. Such a simple trick, but incredibly effective. Bee pollination marks, scratch-like patterns on the rind. Have you ever spotted a watermelon at the market or grocery store with a few rough brownish patches on the rind, almost like scratches, and immediately passed it over, thinking it was damaged, bruised, or not up to standard? If so, you might have unknowingly skipped a top-quality melon. In reality, those tiny brown marks that look like scuffs are often signs of bee pollination. When bees visit watermelon flowers to collect nectar, they sometimes leave behind these little scratch-like traces, like nature's footprints of the messengers that help the fruit grow. And here's the exciting part. Melons with more bee pollination marks are typically better nourished by the parent plant, which means they're more likely to be sweet and flavorful. Of course, if the scratch is deep, mushy, or oozing sap, that's a red flag. It may indicate the fruit is overripe or damaged. But if the marks are small, dry, and dark brown, don't worry. Those melons are often the hidden gems that surprise you with their sweetness, crunch, and refreshing taste. So next time you're picking a watermelon, don't shy away from a few odd-looking marks. They might just be the sign of a true sweet king. Rind elasticity test. Many viewers have shared that they often test the elasticity of a watermelon's rind by gently pressing it with their finger. Tracy tried this method and was pleasantly surprised at how effective it really is in picking a good watermelon. A tasty melon usually has a firm and elastic rind. When you press it lightly, it should feel hard, slightly springy, and not sink in or feel soft. This indicates that the fruit is still fresh, ripened just right, and that the flesh inside is firm and juicy. On the other hand, if the rind feels soft, dense easily, or lacks elasticity when pressed, the watermelon may be overripe, have a mealy or grainy texture inside, or simply be old, leading to a bland taste and poor eating experience. Melons that have been compressed or bumped during transport also tend to have softer spots, so be sure to inspect all around the surface before choosing one. Just a few seconds of light pressing can be a quick but crucial check to help you pick a watermelon that's sweet, crisp, and refreshing. And just like that, today we've uncovered the truth behind watermelon stems and the tapping method, while also discovering a few surprisingly useful tips from both viewers and experts. Now let's cut open the two watermelons and see the results. In terms of color, both look fairly red inside, but after slicing and tasting, the one Tracy guessed would be better is indeed sweeter and more fragrant. The other one, the one with the dent, tastes like it's gone bad, spongy and far less sweet. So from now on, remember these signs when picking a watermelon. Look for a small belly button, bee pollination marks, and a rind that feels firm and springy. Then you can be confident it's a good one. If you found today's video helpful, please tap like to support the channel and follow to catch more great kitchen tips. Also, where are you watching from? Drop your city or region in the comments so Tracy can connect with more of you. See you in the next video, and may you always pick a watermelon that's sweet to the heart,